inequality, poverty, unemployment, violence, and social discord affect the lives of millions of South Africans and hold back our country's progress. Our economy has not been growing, and the numbers of unemployed people has been rising. In many areas, we have seen a deterioration in governance, a decline in the delivery of services, and widespread corruption and a wastage of public resources. At the same time, we have seen an increasing disengagement by many people from the democratic process, as witnessed by the turnout of people who did not vote in the May 2024 elections. The National Dialogue, therefore, is an opportunity to mobilize South Africans to address these challenges and restore our country to the path of transformation, of development and progress. It should be seen as an opportunity to build on the achievements of the last 3 decades by defining a shared vision and a common program to take our country forward. The National Dialogue draws on a rich tradition of discussion, debate, and united action. In fact, we can safely and confidently say that dialoguing is not a new phenomenon to South Africans. We've held a number of dialogues, and many of those, if not all, have been truly positive or have yielded positive results. The latest one we held was when we drafted our constitution. We had a national dialogue which involved hundreds of thousands of our people and had to deal with millions of documents and suggestions that were proposed and submitted. That in itself ended up with a very good product, a compact, which constitutes our constitution today. At critical moments in our history, we have come together as a people to confront our difficulties and find solutions to our problems. From the Freedom Charter to the drafting of our constitution, as I said, from the National Peace Accord to our response to the devastating COVID pandemic, South Africans have always pursued dialogue, cooperation, and partnership. What is our strength? Is our diversity. We are a diverse people with different cultures, languages, political traditions, and viewpoints. While this diversity makes for robust and often noisy debate, it does mean that we have a wealth of experience and perspectives on which to draw lessons. The National Dialogue seeks to provide a platform for this richness of ideas to be brought to bear on the challenges that we face. The National Dialogue does not and is not aimed at displacing the democratic processes mandated by our Constitution. Its outcomes cannot supersede the electoral mandates that the parties that contested for elections and were finally elected into our parliament carry, as well as cannot supersede the mandates of the executive of the nation. But it can deliver a social compact that outlines clear commitments and responsibilities for different stakeholders, for government, for political parties themselves, for business, for labor, for civil society, as it manifests itself in many, many divisions. It could be religious, it could be sports, it could be cultural, it could be all manner of divisions of civil society. And it can also do so for individual citizens of South Africa. The task that we have is to ensure that the outcomes of the national dialogue can be institutionalized in a manner that informs and guides the direction that our country can take. We have been clear that this dialogue must be as inclusive as possible. It cannot be partisan. It cannot favor one group or perspective over another. It needs to be citizen-led, and the outcomes need to reflect the collective views of the people of South Africa. While the head of state has a constitutional mandate to convene the national dialogue, and while government should use its capacity and resources to support and facilitate this process, the national dialogue is neither government-driven nor directed. Citizens must be able to freely and fully participate in the national dialogue as individuals, in their organized formations, and through representative bodies. That is why the Eminent Persons Group is so eminently important. It brings together prominent and respected South Africans from across society, from many fields of endeavor and experiences as well. As eminent, you are not being asked to represent any particular constituency or organization. Rather, you are being called upon to use your experience, your acumen, your knowledge, and your energy to give South Africans confidence that participation in the national dialogue can help to advance their interests and secure their future. We are asking you as eminent persons to be the champions of the national dialogue, not cheerleaders. We expect that you will critically consider the progress and the conduct of the national dialogue and provide advice where correction is required. If there are people being left out, we ask that you raise it. If there is confusion or misunderstanding or disarray, we ask that you help correct it. If there are groups that seek to commandeer the process, we ask that you alert us. We expect that the national dialogue process will be contested. The country is contested, that it may be used to score political points or to advance particular interests. We should not be surprised if there is skepticism or disinterest from some quarters of South African society about the national dialogue. We have already been confronted by the challenge of misinformation and misrepresentation, whether on what is perceived as the high cost of the national dialogue or on who is running it. But that should not distract us from the work that we have to do, to give a platform to be heard, and so that they may be counted. What I do know for a fact about South Africans is that they want to be heard. They want to participate. They want to be included in whatever process that is meant to direct their lives, to improve their lives, or to take their lives forward. We should therefore not fear criticism. In fact, we should welcome it. Criticism, in the end, is a signal that South Africans care about the country and are heavily invested in its future. Most critics want a national dialogue that is effective and inclusive, and we should give them that. This Eminent Persons Group should be ensuring that we give South Africans that which they want: effectiveness and inclusivity. Dissenting voices make the debate richer and should make the outcomes more robust and more meaningful. We should therefore not fear those who are dissenters. This meeting marks the start of the work of the Eminent Persons Group, work that promises to be both challenging and rewarding. As the Eminent Persons Group comes to understand its own role and set out its tasks, we must recognize and appreciate the long road and the hard work that has brought us to this point. Since a number of people have made calls for a national dialogue, and these have ranged from our religious organizations. I specifically remember when the South African Council of Churches said that we need to have a national dialogue. A number of other business people also said so. And the message was articulated more strongly by former President Thabo Mbeki in April last year. This call has been taken up by our people and formations from across society. The convening of a national dialogue was endorsed by myself as the President of the Republic, and it has been endorsed by 10 political parties that constitute the Government of National Unity in their statement of intent, and is incorporated in the government's medium-term development plan. Over the course of several months, the group of foundations named for eminent stalwarts, working together with a number of civil society organizations, took an initiative to start advocating and mobilizing for the national dialogue. This work has been fundamental to the conceptualization and the design of the national dialogue as we have it today. It now finds organizational expression in the preparatory team, which brings together the foundations and civil society formations and the presidency. And in the presidency, in terms of the workings thereof, as led by the Deputy President. And this has led to the making of the practical arrangements for the first National Convention, which we would like to be held in August. Today's meeting is an opportunity for the eminent persons, yourselves, to be briefed more fully on the national dialogue, on the role of the Eminent Persons Group, and on the preparations that are being made as we speak for the first National Convention. Importantly, it is an opportunity for the Eminent Persons Group to ask questions and to share their reflections on the national dialogue. After each one of you will have been given an opportunity to introduce yourself so that everybody in this zoo gets to know who is who in the zoo. Once again, allow me to take this opportunity with my faltering voice to welcome you to this meeting, and I truly thank you for agreeing to take on this very important responsibility as eminent South Africans, people who are recognized, who are respected, and who are upheld by millions of our people across the board. You are a collective that brings together young and old, that brings together men and women, that has sought to bring together people from various regions of our country, that has also sought to bring together various persuasions, professions, careers, and endeavors. This, I believe, is a diverse group, and a diverse group that is going to give real value to the work that we have to do. Your job, therefore, is to be the champions of the national dialogue and, in a way, to be the guarantors of the work that is going to come out of the national dialogue. With those words, I welcome you and thank you for having agreed to take on this job.